what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Brandon Volkswagen, and guess what? I have something all new for 2024. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2024 Volkswagen Atlas, but this is an all-new trim known as the Peak Edition. But before we get into this mid-size three-row SUV with a little bit of off-road capability, let's talk about what's going on here. The mid-size SUV segment is on fire. It keeps growing in leaps and bounds every single year from all the different brands. And one thing that's become very popular is having a mid-size three-row SUV that has an off-road trim. You look at the Pilot Trail Sport from Honda. You look at the Nissan, the Rock Creek edition of the Pathfinder. Well, guess what? This Peak Edition falls into the same alignment. Now, of course, versatility has always been the name of the game. And what's fascinating is that this vehicle still brings that three-row versatility. And we brought you this vehicle when it first appeared at the New York Auto Show in 2023. So nice to finally get our hands on one. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for the best three-row midsize SUV, but you want a little bit of off-road capability, do you go Pilot Trail Sport from Honda? Do you go Rock Creek Edition with the Pathfinder from Nissan? Or do you go the Volkswagen route? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this Peak Edition and find out. Right off the bat, the color. They do these grays on Volkswagens like the Jetta, the GTI, and everything else that look spectacular. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna see updated styling that all the Atlas trims get. And it starts with the headlight. You're gonna have this almost like crab claw kind of headlight housing that intersects into the grille. Love the LED turn signals, LED daytime running lamps that actually run across the front of the vehicle, and your double stacked, double stuffed Oreo cookie size LED headlights. Now, you do get some unique style on this Peak Edition with some flat metallic silver, but what in the heck is this? I don't know what this is. I know it's trying to look like a fake vent, but why couldn't they make that a functional corner air curtain? Or better yet, if this is an off-road spec, give me some LED fog lamps in there. That would have worked out perfectly. So that's definitely a zonk, but I do like the body color with some gloss black and then the flat black material on the lower portions. Now, as we come across the new redesigned grille, of course, you're gonna have that Volkswagen badge that looks so great, illuminates at night. We do have a little bit of chrome horizontal bars that turn into gloss black horizontal bars with some gloss black appointments, but it's all functional. Down on the lower end, closer to the ground, this is all flat black, flat metallic silver. This is smart because this is gonna take a better beating when you're going off-roading. And this is not meant to be a rock crawler. This is meant to kind of go off the beaten path, do some light off-roading, put the kayak or the canoe in the water where you only know where this little pond is and nobody else. But let me know what you think about the front end compared to the Pathfinder and compared to the Pilot. Now, as we rise up, you're still gonna get the same great massive hood. I like the hard crease with the way that it folds nicely into that daytime running lamp. And then all the body lines are very crisp, especially on the fenders. The fenders is where it really shows a nice muscular appeal without it going too over the top. Now, as we come around the bend with this Peak Edition, you are gonna get unique off-road spec wheels and definitely off-road tires. So 18-inch wheel, wide-spoke design, nice gloss black with these Continental cross-country off-road terrain tires. And you can see it actually has the shielding, light shielding protection with the sidewall. This is a good compromise because you're not gonna get a ton of road noise when you're going down your daily commute, but it's gonna give you a little bit extra security and grip when you're going off-roading. Ours has 4 motions, so it's front-wheel drive base, but it sends power to the rear wheels, just like the Honda Pilot with its all-wheel drive system or the Nissan Pathfinder. I'm gonna have Steven kind of zoom in and show off the suspension. They did retune the suspension, the shock absorber, and the springs for this setup. The only challenge is you're not getting extra ground clearance over a standard Atlas. So that to me is a little confusing, but like I said, you do have more off-road spec tires. Tires are 255 on the width and a 60 series sidewall. Flat black around the fender opening I'm okay with because it kind of falls into alignment with that off-road spec. Now, as we come down the side, this is what I was talking about. I love the body lines that Volkswagen puts into their king-size Atlas, even with a little bit of tasteful badging with the Peak Edition. And what's great is that orange that you see on the word Peak and on the mountain range there, it goes into the interior as well. We have black painted mirror caps with your turn signals nicely in. And then you'll also notice the raised roof rails. This is where you're gonna be able to get your Volkswagen accessories, the crossbar, the cargo basket, the mountain bike holder, whatever you want to do to go off the beaten path and have that adventure, Volkswagen wants to take you there. Now you do have your color match on the door handles, and what I like is just a little bit of flat black and that flat silver on the bottom portion. This is going to take a better beating, and it ties in nicely with the same materials at the front end of the business on that lower section. Now coming towards the rear, just like your standard Atlas, you will get 3-row flexibility in this vehicle. Ours has 4Motion, that all-wheel drive. And then when we get to the back, nice style on the roof spoiler. It does have an exposed wiper. Let me know if you think I should zonk it. The Pilot has an exposed wiper, and so does the Pathfinder. So let's just call it evens. Love the way they redesigned the rear lift gate with the lighting, all LED. This is an SEL trim. Look at the way the lighting goes all the way across with the Atlas name in that gloss black. 4Motion, all-wheel drive from Volkswagen, and then as we work our way down, you are going to have your full tow capability, and they restyled these compared to your standard Atlas, but they're still fake exhausts. Why? They look great. The style looks great. I just wish they were functional. And also get rid of this. What and why do we need fake vent in the bottom? That is a zonk. But it's nice to have all your tow hookup, easy to get to. Just make the exhaust functional. Why? There's an exhaust pipe underneath the bumper, so you're not fooling anybody. Well, why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see the new power plant of the Atlas. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a hood strut. Underneath the hood, there's gonna look like there's a lot of room, because guess what, there is. Gone is the V6. Now all Atlas trims for 2024, including the Peak Edition, are now 4-cylinder turbocharged engines. But the good news is that you're pretty much getting more horsepower and more torque than the previous model year. So we have 269 horsepower out of that 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 273 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 7.2 seconds. Top speed is governed to 117 miles per hour. MPGs, 19 in the city, 25 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs approximately 4,630 pounds. Now, the great news is like I said, you're gonna have less weight hanging off of the front end of the vehicle, and you are getting more horsepower and more torque. Plus, you could tow up to 5,000 pounds with this application, so that's really nice as well. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see this thing roll. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Volkswagen Atlas Peak Edition. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I definitely need a 3-row SUV. I just found out that I have 2 more kids that I didn't even know about. So I'm gonna need the 3 rows for them. And I want something that kind of has the look, and I'm an outdoors kind of person, and I want to take them all camping and everything else, so I'm kind of liking this Peak Edition. How much is it? Very good question. MSRP, this one with the 4Motion and everything else, SEL trim, you're looking at an MSRP of $54,000. Let's see how it stacks up to the Honda and the Nissan. To the door panels. I love the door material. All new for 2024. You have this really cool texturized surface. It's like an ashy black kind of color. Really looks nice, and then I'm really digging the gray. The stitching, the perforations Armrest is nice and soft, a little bit of orange stitching to match, like I said, the orange and the Peak Edition badge. Door pocket is a great size. You could get 2 of those Renfest turkey legs in there and a large bottle of butterbeer to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, I can't show it because it's sunny as heck, but at night this all illuminates with orange ambient lighting and says Peak Edition, and it's actually laser etched to shine through the material. Very, very cool touch. Just a little bit of gloss black. I'm really digging the gray with the stitching. This makes it look super high end. You'll notice down below, because of a new electric shifter, you got a place for a purse, a backpack, a sack, a satchel. You can even put a 5-pound bag of apples down here. And then of course we have that 12.3-inch infotainment system, all touchscreen. The problem is it's a little clunky. So I'll hit the home button. That takes us to see the orange, the Peak Edition touch there. This is where you could get into all your different settings, the sound, the assist systems, the navigation, all those different things very easily. The problem is it's just a little clunky because there's no physical knobs or buttons. You do have 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, and dual climate control, which is wonderful. And then let me show you the backup camera. We go into reverse. It's not very good. It's large and it's got trajectory. It's just, it needs to be a little bit better resolution. Plus, where's my forward-facing camera on an off-road spec? No forward-facing camera. That's a bit of a zonk to me. Down below, these are your quick access buttons. So if I hit mode, you'll see it brings up all the modes: off-road, snow. We're gonna keep it in sport. You even got comfort mode. Down below, I like this little lid. Most people though, I think, are gonna drive with it open because you have wireless charging, a place for 4 packages of Tic Tacs, 2 USB-Cs, 2 cup holders. There's our little nub of a shifter for our 8-speed automatic start-stop button. And then of course this has the updated Volkswagen key fob. Very nice. You got remote start. Place for an off-road Twinkie. That's a Twinkie filled with fudge. Love the stitching. Look at this. And then open this up. You got a USB-C and you got enough room in there for a large bowl of Lucky Charms. I used to love Lucky Charms. Of course, I would always eat the marshmallows first and then eat the rest of the cereal. I always wished as a kid, I think they did it, but I think I was too old and I didn't care anymore. It's like I grew up and the magic was over when they came out with, I think it was just marshmallows you could get. They had a special edition. But the seats, the leather material, the orange stitching, I love the 2-tone, nice bolstering. I think power assist for the passenger, so that's good news. Power assist for the driver, and you have this panoramic sunroof with a power shade. But why don't you get your booty over here? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Peak Edition. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have a nice aluminum sill plate, but why doesn't it say Peak Edition here? That's a zonk. I do love the pedal box, though. Nice large aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. Got your power seat controls with 3 memory seat settings, easy to get to. That 2-tone seat material is wonderful, and they are comfy. Probably the best seats compared to the Pathfinder and the Pilot. Steering wheel, nice leather all the way around. Semi-flat bottom. You do have the Peak Edition badge, so you can stare at that when you're sitting in traffic. Paddles on the back of the steering wheel. Flat black on all the switchgear. You do have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel with those paddles for the 8-speed automatic. And I love the 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster. That Peak Edition gauge is cool. It actually tells us where you are above or below sea level. So we're 40 feet above sea level here in Brandon. Plus it's got a lot of other cool readouts and information. And I love the color. And then you have a head-up display as well. But let's get into the mid-row and the third row because I want to take you for a drive in this Peak Edition. All right, guys, mid-row time, and I love the way all the seats, mid-row and the third row, get the same great-looking seat material with the orange stitching. The 2-tone is really nice. These are captain's chairs, so you do have your armrest, but I got to zonk the armrest. Why can't they give us a beefy armrest? This is an armrest for like a flamingo or a seagull, and they don't even have arms. They got wings. So, not digging that. The back of the seat, love the soft material. Large pockets. You could put easily, I would say, a magnifying glass, a compass, and an abacus back here in case your phone doesn't work because you're in the middle of nowhere. You need to go analog, baby. I would even bring a map with you just so you don't get lost and then the bears get you. Because once the bears get you, they're gonna rip you apart. Talk about a command center. Love the AC vents. You got your digital readout controls here for your AC. What's interesting is no heated seats, no ventilated seats at 54 Gs, 2 USB-Cs, and a home power source, which is nice. I'm sitting here, and what's great about it is that these seats slide and they recline. They actually recline quite a bit. I love the manual security shades, so none of the freaks are staring at you when you're in the mid-road doing God knows what. Especially when you think that you're out in the middle of nowhere and nobody's watching you. Somebody usually is. I've learned that from watching Dateline in 2020. To get in the third row, real simple. Look at that. Move that out of the way. You got some good real estate for your feet so you don't rip up the carpet. We got all-weather floor mats. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. And then sitting back here, let me get rid of this. This is the safety kit. We'll put that back there. Sitting back here, it's actually not too shabby. My knees are not too high. They're not too close to the back of the seat. My head isn't even close to the headliner. I got AC vents. On this side, we have 2 USB-Cs, a big Costco hot dog holder, which remember, those are still $1.50 with the soda. And on this side, I have a nice little taco holder. And I'll show you these things from the back side, at least Steven will, when we open up the cargo back. But like I said, the seats are fantastic. These headrests are kind of funny looking, but they feel good when you rest your head on them. So that's the big plus. But let's get into the cargo area because I want to take you for a spin in this Peak Edition. All right, guys, cargo area time. You hit the button. Nice electric assist, and it opens up very quickly. You're going to be greeted to a nice amount of room. 21 cubic feet of space with the third row up. Love the way it's got this nook over here with the plastic background so you can put your gallon of chocolate milk there. On this side, you could easily get 4 boxes of Twinkies, just stack them up. There is a 12 volt, so if you're gonna go to the beach, you could get the electric air compressor and blow up all those inflatable rafts and all that other junk that your kids wanna play with. And then of course, this third row, look how simple it is. Even a caveman could do it. 56 cubic feet of space. You fold down that mid row, you're looking at 90 cubic feet of space. And check it out. We have our little taco holder and of course a little cup holder for some juicy juice. But on the driver's side, look at what we have. 2 USB-Cs, a place for a foot-long hot dog, and there's those AC vents that I was trying to show you when I was sitting in the third row. But of course, you fold down the mid row, folds down nice and flat. But you know what? It's that time. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go for a little spin and see how this Peak Edition Atlas drives. All right, guys, we left Brandon Volkswagen. We're inside this 2024 Volkswagen Atlas Peak Edition. What I love about this vehicle is how easy it is to drive. Great visibility out the front where you see that awesome hood. Gives you good visual reference points. Nice size on the side mirrors. And these seats are just fan-freaking-tastic. Getting to the 12.3-inch infotainment system is well within reach. And like I said, this digital gauge cluster is really cool. It tells you what mode you're in, which we're in sport. Cool tech. It almost looks like a chronograph wristwatch. And just the colors kind of tie it all in very nicely. And you have a head-up display. But I think the biggest question you're probably going to have is, Joe, well, what about the V6 not being there? Well, let's go on throttle and find out. Nobody's behind us. We're going to go from a dead stop. On throttle, here we go. So smooth shifts from the 8-speed automatic. The 4Motion all-wheel drive system is superb. And to be honest with you, there's not a lot of boost lag off the line. The engine is a little noisier than the V6 was, but from a power and a torque standpoint, I don't think you're gonna be wanting for the V6. I just wish it had a little bit better fuel economy since we're switching to a smaller displacement engine. But the shifts, like I said, are very, very smooth. And there is some sound being pumped in, but it's nothing too obnoxious. It almost makes it sound like a V6 with what's being pumped in through the audio. But the visibility is great. Even with those off-road spec tires, like I said, it's a good compromise to where they're not making a ton of road noise. And that's another thing that they did is they worked on the chassis, the rigidity of the chassis. They also worked on the suspension tuning, and it just gives you a nice, smooth, comfortable ride down the road. I really think you're gonna like the overall changes that have been made to this, not only redesigned 2024 Atlas, but also this Peak Edition. But driving down the road, it's very, very comfortable. And obviously with the all-wheel drive system, no matter what the terrain does underneath you, you're gonna be able to get the power to the ground very, very effectively, getting to the 12.3-inch infotainment system as well within reach. Nice to have the heated and ventilated seats, because sometimes on these off-road spec trims, they take away some of those goodies. So it's nice for it to be there. And just, I don't know, all the finishes in here feel fantastic. There's not a lot of area where I'm just like, ew, that's a bunch of plastic. It feels really, really nice in here. Like most Volkswagens do compared to the competition. But if you haven't been in a midsize SUV, this one is very easy to drive. And the fact that you got all the different modes, steering feels great, wireless charging, tons of storage. It really checks off just so many boxes. But we're gonna get back to Brandon Volkswagen and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another crazy day in so many ways here at Brandon Volkswagen. Want to definitely thank Paul and the rest of the team for getting us access to this Peak Edition, all new for 2024 with the Volkswagen Atlas. Let me know what you think. Do you like the Peak Edition with those extra touches, with the tires being more off-road worthy, with the interior touches, and with the 4Motion? Let me know how you think about it in the comment section. Would you get this over a Honda or a Nissan? Also, let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Race Rice family. Gotta give up Stephen Flood, working the camera. It's like 102 degrees out here on this concrete, and he is strong as bull. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.